I'm Suzanne Gorman. I'm the Artistic Director of Maya Productions. We are a small charity and we make theatre, arts and heritage projects to enable racial justice and social change. So Dynamic Flights is a project that enables global majority artists to work in arts and mental health. And we have been running a programme in partnership with South Yorkshire Housing Association. And we have been working in 2 residential schemes for people that are living with long-term mental health conditions.
So I'm sat in the garden at Beaufort Project, which is one of the residential schemes that we've worked at over the last 2 years. There are about 18 flats here and people who live here living with poor mental health. And we've been running creative sessions on and off over the last 2 years.
Dan was coming in to do sound and music, and Tahir was coming in to do writing. And then I was like a consistent person throughout. And we had another facilitator, Nadia, who was also doing that as well. So those sessions were very much getting to know each other and building trust.
We usually set a goal like before the session. So we plan, collect materials for the workshop.
And then we sort of went round the residents' houses, the open space, and ran some workshops, developing quite a lot of the music that we actually used in the show in the end. So the residents were all a part of that.
What do we feel like the substance of what their sound is? Like what kind of instruments do they have? What key is it in? That kind of thing. And then he would bring along different instruments and give people the opportunity to play them a little bit and maybe show them a couple of chords. And then they would play a little bit and then he'd kind of build that into a track.
Hey, Diddy, hey, Nonny, sing a happy song. Hey, Dilly, hey, Dolly, let's all sing along.
And again, another really beautiful moment was when we performed the play, one of the participants was singing along to the song because she helped write it. Like she was one of those key players in building that song.
One exercise I devised was the character's journey. Some of them actually took that away and worked on it in their own time. And I think I may have, sparked some inspiration in some of them. Some of them have like taken it away and started writing their own stories.
The impetus for Dynamic Flights really came from a Baring report that revealed that there was a lack of global majority background artists working in arts and creative health.
I think it's super important for global majority people to see themselves in the story, to see themselves on the stage, but also to talk about mental health. And I think that's something that is really hard to access and that a lot of global majority background culturally don't have access to or don't have knowledge to.
A day out at the beach sounds appealing to me, making sand pies and splashing about in the sea.
So the story I wrote was about someone with selective mutism, which is something I went through for a very long time in my early life.
But to have someone that is a mute because of trauma is something that we've rarely seen in the media, and I think this piece shows it in such a good way that it's not a novelty.
You can speak to me here. Really? Not even in a dream? No worries. What can I get you?
So the company have been really supportive in knowing that they need to protect our mental health whilst we're exploring all of these things and going into these settings as well. They've prepared us for that so that we can go in and be ourselves and be confident and know that what we're doing is, a show that's going to ultimately help and support more people.
This project also really supports local South Yorkshire and Yorkshire artists to develop their careers and be able to have that privilege of working locally and working in their hometowns and cities. And that's really important for us as an organisation, that we are supporting that local artist economy.
So I've learned so many new skills, I've built my own confidence. And actually what's been really interesting is as my confidence has grown, it's enabled the character's confidence to grow.
Because I'm also a producer and I'm really interested in producing community theatre, and being a part of a production like this has opened up so many doors for me.
I learned new skill, which is really good to have as a designer at a young age.
I'm currently on the bank cohort in Sheffield with Sheffield Theatres. And so I'm going to be assistant directing one of their main stage productions in the upcoming year. But I think that this project has played a big part in me getting that, because it's involved me so deeply in part of the Sheffield community, and also has allowed me to build a lot of bridges with different creatives.
It's a sense of community with other creatives that's really been the joy of this project.
For Maya Productions, this was the first time that we'd actually started to engage in that arts and mental health and arts and creative health area within the arts and culture sector. So for us, it's absolutely amazing, because now we have actually engaged in a kind of new way of working that we want to continue as an organisation.